On these guys, you know, in our pre-show research, not much on these guys. We know they're big and they're ready to throw down. That's the biggest thing that matters.
Yeah, I think the biggest note on this fight is the stats here from Jamison. 6'7", 246 and a half pounds, 81-inch reach. Both guys young, 26 here for Thomas, 23 for his opponent. Coming out of Wolfden MMA. I mean, 6'7", that's tall. Really anything over like 6'2" is pretty tall.
Yeah.
And you know, the heavyweight scope is so vast, but I mean, he's towering over the Fury cage here.
He is inside. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Noel Ceniceros.
El Peligroso Noel Ceniceros, coming out of Plainview, Texas. 6'3", 221. That's wild. 221 against 246. We had a chance to talk to Noel Ceniceros before. He said, look, I'm all about that business, and he's calling it. We want to see the finish with the punches, but he said, I'm going to tap this guy.
All right, cool. But it's a big man to get down.
We look at our tail of the tape brought to you by Warbringer Southwest Bourbon, the cock of the walk. You see that height advantage, reach advantage for Jamison Thomas, the 26-year-old. And also that weight discrepancy as well. They're both heavyweights, but that is a pretty big gap right there.
Yeah, I mean, Noel, he could probably be a 205 or maybe even an 85er. But you know, 6'3", pretty tall. He's a big man himself, but these heavyweights, the ceiling is just so high. You guys like Miles Banks, they're just truly giant human beings.
All right, both guys are inside. Let's get our introduction.
The following contest, brought to you by the Cock of the Walk, Warbringer Whiskey, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Heavyweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 6 feet, 7 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 246.6 pounds. Fighting out of Bridge City, Texas, today, he makes his amateur debut. Here is Jamison Thomas. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, and he weighed in at 221.8 pounds. Fighting out of Plainview, Texas, today, he too makes his amateur debut. Here is Noel, El Peligroso Ceniceros. Your referee in charge, Ramsey Ishak.
Inside, Richard Burmaster, VP of Talent, head matchmaker, and professional ticket getter for us two.
Hell yeah,
Here.
that's
What's
right.
up, Rich? Oh, can't hear Rich. Let me see. It might not be tuned to talk right now. I don't know.
I think maybe we just can't hear him. I think the broadcast got him loud and clear. That happened last time.
See if we can figure this out, Richard. Yep, there you go.
Both guys kind of finding the range. And man, there is some range to find. Business calls for Rich. Handling matchmaker duty at the moment.
He's the busiest man on fight day. It's crazy. A little bit feeling out process here for both debut fighters, which is, it goes one way or the other, right? Like either you're gonna come out with nerves or you are just gonna take your time, figure this out, which is nice to see.
I mean, there's almost a foot in reach difference, almost, about 9 inches. And that's a difference that you got to figure that distance out if you're Cisneros. But one thing he can maybe try to get on the inside, but it's tough because Thomas really has been kind of walking him around the cage.
Noel Ceniceros said that he wants to win this with a rear naked choke, so at some point he's going to have to get this to the ground somehow, some way.
Okay, Thomas with a big kicking arsenal pretty early on. Kick caught by Thomas.
And now we get to see that weight discrepancy
Yeah.
on top of you. Let's see how much that wears down Ceniceros.
Nice clean pass there from Thomas. Pretty classic fundamental jiu-jitsu transitions to mount. He's going to start to let some punches fly. This is a big man to get off of you. So you effectively have two styles of escape. So you have reversals and get-ups. So you roll them over, get them on their back. Probably not going to happen. And then you have guard recoveries where you can try to disposition their legs, push their leg in between your legs. You know, try to get that knee shield in the mix. Your legs are on the waist to control their posture. But notice Thomas is a good grappler. He's keeping his weight super low. He's looking for this head and arm choke. I would not be surprised if we see a finish with it.
He's setting it up. He's waiting and looking to push over now. And there it is. Deep. Is this going to be enough? That is in deep. He just has to wait. It looks like there's a little bit of room with 10 seconds. He can't really switch those hips out more, it looks like.
This could,
could we get somebody go to sleep on the belt?
Wow.
No,
Look at that. He survived it. Good for Ceniceros.
Yeah, there was just enough of an opening. It looked like the angle wasn't as sharp as it could be. Good for Ceniceros. Just had to survive 15 seconds because that's about when it was locked in.
I'll tell you, for a submission victory game plan, he may have to recalibrate tactics because I don't think Thomas is looking to be on bottom in this fight at all. I mean, a strong 10-9 round there for Thomas.
Yeah, that was some impressive grappling on the ground, smooth pass into mount. Took his time, was patient with it. Ceniceros had him wrapped up, couldn't really get too many punches off.
You see, I believe that's Ruben Alanes in the corner there of Thomas. That explains the good jiu-jitsu. Alanes just competed on the Submission Hunter Pro card on Friday. This has been a combat sports-filled weekend. Sub Hunter Pro Friday, we had UFC Abu Dhabi Saturday, and a local tournament we were at. And then now some Fury fights on Sunday. I live for weekends like this for you.
Yeah, you were busy, man. Working Friday night, working a tournament.
Sub Hunter Pro is a short 7-hour, 51-match event.
Man. Yeah, I tuned in to watch a little bit. I was like, wow, how are these guys doing this, man?
Good right hand there from Thomas. I actually had one of my heavyweight blue belts get a submission from the Scarfold Americana. It was really cool, but he showed interest in doing MMA. He wrestles in college. He's a great blue belt. He's tapped me before.
Nice. What's his name?
Jairo is my boy.
Nice.
Jairo Cardenas. He's going back to college in just a few weeks, so we'll let him become learned. And once he's done with that, we'll get him on the cage.
Yeah, speaking of college, Bella Mir is on our card later on. She is currently wrestling in college. Will fight about once a year when she can in the summer. The daughter of Frank Mir. If you don't recognize the name, taking on Stephanie Calderon. Man, that is going to be such a good fight.
Yeah, and then for maybe the younger generation, Frank Mir, old school UFC heavyweight, got a couple of very prolific finishes. One, a knee bar over Brock Lesnar, and then the most just notorious was he had a Kimura against Big Nog, Antonio Nogueira, and broke his humerus bone with the Kimura. Yeah. Oh, it was a rough one. Man, Cisneros just not really able to find a lot of offense. He's just getting kind of picked apart at the super long range.
He hasn't even thrown much, has Ceniceros right now.
Yeah, this is one of those things, you know, he gets the opponent, he gets the stats, he's like, all right, I'll be able to handle it. But then being in the cage with a guy this much taller and longer and even heavier, who does have super sharp grappling, I mean, you gotta troubleshoot things a little differently. I mean, blasts a double leg. Threatens a shallow guillotine, does Ceniceros, but it was short-lived. Not a ton of time left. Thomas does seem to be in good shape. He's an athlete. He doesn't carry, you know, a ton of fat on that giant heavyweight frame at 6'7".
Yeah, first fight for him, you know, figuring things out as well. Would like to see him throw just a little bit more. Had the advantage. Had Ceniceros kind of confused there, but really didn't throw much more than the jab, a couple of rights.
Yeah, he's finding his footing. You know, I talk to my fighters all the time. I say, you guys don't know until you're in there. Knowing how to strike at range in the cage, that is a skill set entirely in its own. You know, I know a ton of wrestlers who've had 10 fights and they still are not comfortable in that ranged, high-paced footwork environment. All right, this fight going to the third round. Ceniceros is pretty comfortably down 2 rounds. So has not taken a lot of damage and has not thrown a lot of output. I'm sure he's still got some juice, some fuel left in that gas tank. He's gonna have to look to really put his foot on the gas and make something happen.
Still to come on the amateur side. We've got Jonathan Josso taking on Corey Flores, Anthony Obregon, Ethan Aflehi. Up next, Jesus Arroyo taking on Nico Martinez. Man,
Nico Martinez, one of the slickest jiu-jitsu exchanges in the Fury cage in his last amateur win over Houston Marza.
You just saw on your screen, it was a tough week to be a celebrity. A lot of celebrity deaths, man. The Prince of Darkness, that one.
Shout out to, those Aussie fans, myself included. Hulk Hogan, pioneering the friendly term brother.
Brother.
Something I say to my wife all the time, but which she gets pretty upset about.
My wife, it's so funny. Every guy uses the term brother. So my wife is like, why do you call everyone brother?
Oh,
okay.
That was good. That was what Ceniceros needs. Now, I noticed at the beginning of this round, Ceniceros is walking very gingerly on that right leg. Now I'll tell you, Thomas has thrown maybe 3 or 4 low kicks that have landed. And you're like, 3 or 4 low kicks, I could take that. Not from this 6'7" heavyweight, you can't. But Ceniceros, he threw the big right hand on it. I mean, honestly, he needs to do that as much as he can. Oh, we got that one checked. That's not going to feel good on that injured leg.
And see, this is where Thomas, first fight still, so I'm not going to criticize him too much, but you almost have a wounded animal inside. Had the angle there, could have unloaded a few more punches.
Yeah, I mean, he's stepping awkwardly on that foot. He just literally looked down at the ground. I mean, he's noticed he's got all of his weight. I mean, if anything, just start hacking low kicks, because all of Ceniceros' weight is on his lead leg due to that injured right leg. And the odds of him lifting that lead leg up to check is very unlikely. He kicked him in the shin again.
Right there, throw 1-2. Just go back to basics there. Oh man, nice kick.
I mean, hindsight always 20/20. This is what I think Tom's going to come back and watch us and see if he kind of chooses to finish. I think he can finish. I mean, put a 6-punch combo together, because Ceniceros is not firing back. Ceniceros has thrown a couple of overhand rights when they're like about to close distance, but pretty much every time Thomas throws one of those singular strikes, whether it be a kick or a punch, Ceniceros is not firing back. He's just moving backwards.
Again, we don't know much about these guys, both debuting inside, not much tape to watch. Really couldn't find much on these guys, but if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say Jameson Thomas more of a grappler. Something, striking is something he's going to be working on in his career. He looked great on the ground in the first round, looked very smooth. But definitely striking, something to improve on.
When you got to strike when the iron's hot, and it's not going to get any hotter than this. I mean, He doesn't really have much coming back his way.
And for Noel Ceniceros, hey, you got in there, figured it out. Let's see what the next step is. Maybe going down a weight class.
Yeah. Well, we had those first two fights, really strong fights to get the action going.
It always happens with the heavyweights. So you're either going to get a big moment or we go the distance.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we have the rarely seen, less rare these days, we got the amateur jiu-jitsu black belt coming up next. And then from what I hear about his opponent, Jesus Araujo, fighting Nico Martinez. McSweeney, his coach, he swears he's got a prospect on his hands. Find out in just a moment. We'll get this decision. I mean, this is about as clear-cut as a 30-27 gets. I gotta say unofficially, but if it's anything other than that, these judges are gonna be in hot water.
Yeah. Ceniceros got in, did his thing. See what kind of adjustments are made if we see him back inside the cage. And for Jamison Thomas, man, good, a lot of potential there. See that frame, saw that groundwork in round one. A lot of potential, good kicks. All right, let's see how the judges score this one. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by Warbringer Whiskey. All 3 judges scored the fight 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jamison Thomas.
All right, interesting heavyweight fight.